What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we're here to talk about my final predictions for the Game Awards. I'm really excited for this video. Hopefully, you guys are too. I got my trusty notebook over here as a 90-year-old man, wrote everything down, kind of tried to break it into categories. We're doing things a little bit differently this year, but welcome in. And just really quickly, before we get too far, of course, remember, I will be co-streaming this event, whenever you guys see it. I'm going to go live about an hour or so before the event starts. The live stream is actually already up on the channel if you want to notify yourself and if you want to watch it with me. We normally have a really fun time. I got a bingo board prepared and a couple other announcements too. So going to really try to make it a special event for me as well as obviously for you guys and as well as what the Game Awards is. So really quick, just in terms of my expectations, and then we'll kind of go over my weird way of sorting things out here. I am expecting a big show. I think I've said it before. I'm kind of expecting a lot without expecting anything in particular all at the same time. You kind of just set yourself up in that way. And look, this is a night of disappointments. This is a night of believing, and I'm not here to stop you, right? If you want Kingdom Hearts 4 there, you do it. You do you. And I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, it's in my no category, but that's just an example, right? And honestly, that's kind of how I feel. I mean, go crazy. It's really one of the only times you can go crazy every year. That's what Jeff gets a lot of hate, and some of it's absolutely deserved. But at the end of the day, this is a very big night in gaming, not just to look back at the games that came out and to celebrate them. They do that maybe 10% of the show, but it's also to look forward. Okay, now I did do a whole predictions video, everything that I think is going to win. So if you want, okay, well, Alex, what about actually the awards, like what the awards are going to go to? I did a whole video, went down every single category. Okay, so you can check that out. Okay, so I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to look down. If you ever see me looking down, just looking in my notebook, I kind of broke it up into a couple different categories, but I also did like the ones that I think are for sure, the ones that I think are like leaning towards yes, leaning towards no, and then also what games could be candidates for like that big thing, right? Jason Schreier says that there's two of them, at least two, so okay, we have to kind of predict what those are. All right, one thing I did right is I do believe there's going to be two games, at least two games for 2026 or further. So this is kind of, and I mean, this can be combined with that big game, right? The Witcher 4, Naughty Dog's game, which we'll get to. We'll get to some of those. But think of the biggest games that they can announce. They're probably not for next year. Now, next year has big games, right? Borderlands and Mafia are already confirmed to be at the Game Awards, right? Those are for sure things. Those are big, but I'm talking about the biggest, right? The fact that we know that Mafia and Borderlands are going to be there, to me, tells me there's going to be a couple other ones, right, that are like that next level up, which we talked about some of those in the past, and we'll get to here. So I say two. I also kind of just had a random one where I think there'll be one surprise remaster or remake, and this could be like the Days Gone one, which my jaw would hit the floor for the wrong reasons on that. It could be like If God Is Smiling on Me, Sly Cooper. I mean, that would be something, right? But just something, a remaster or remake that I think would surprise us or we don't see coming. I would also maybe classify the KOTOR remake, like if that came back. I don't think it will. I definitely don't think it's going to be here. But if it does, I think that would, satisfy that condition. All right. I want to say the for sure ones before I forget about these. So I made a video yesterday. We talked about all the games that are confirmed, right? Like Joseph Fares' game, the Hazelight Studios, Warframe, Mafia, Borderlands, Tekken 8's final character of Season 1, Dying Light the Beast, and Palworld. Those are all the confirmed games. There might have been one or two more confirmed since then, but we'll just leave it out for now. Okay, then I have Black Myth DLC. I think the Black Myth Wukong DLC is absolutely going to... This is the one that I'm pretty confident. I just feel like it's the right time. I would say Black Myth DLC, Crimson Desert, along with a release date. I would predict that. And then the Lies of P DLC trailer. Okay, now, again, the leaning yeses, I also feel pretty good about. It's just I wouldn't say they're for sure. Those three, I think... I don't think we're leaving without those three, okay? So, the ones that I would say leaning yes on, Doom the Dark Ages. I'm actually going to put Wolverine here. People kind of convinced me, and as time has gone on and just what we've heard about Sony or PlayStation and what they could be doing here, it feels like Wolverine might be one of the games. We'll get to the other one. Could be one of the games that's shown there. So, again, leaning yes. Doom the Dark Ages, Wolverine. I'm going to say Death Stranding 2. Hideo Kojima's there as a presenter. I mean, how easy would it be for him to just kind of come out and just talk about it a little bit, do his 10-minute monologue like he did last year, right? So I would say that. Hogwarts' DLC, the definitive edition, I would lean yes on. I'm actually going to lean yes, and this would also classify as like a big deal game. From Software's next game, I think I saw somebody just like throw it out as kind of like just a random like thought once. I thought, you know what? I don't think that's a random thought. I actually think that is pretty likely. Maybe pretty likely isn't the right word, but I don't know. I could see it, right? Like Elden Ring, pretty sure Elden Ring was that one more thing that Jeff Keighley, did in the past, like years ago. So wouldn't shock me at all if the next big thing from FromSoft is at least ready to be shown. Maybe it's 2 years out, but is at least ready to be shown. And it's so big. We all know it would be so big, right? That Jeff would do it as like the one more thing. Okay, 3 more. I'm actually going to say Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra, Amy Hennig's game. I feel like you kind of have to see it because it comes out next year. Like they've never wavered from that. And we haven't really seen almost anything. So, I feel like a gameplay trailer would be really good here. Maybe I'm trying to will this one into existence, but I feel like, if you're going to walk away with like a really great show, I think this is just one of the games, like one of 10 games, right, that would make it a really good show. I feel like it could absolutely be there. Fable, I also throw in Fable. So, again, I kind of did the 2 and 2 for Xbox and PlayStation, if you noticed there. And then also Stellar Blade and or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth PC announcement. Okay, I think Stellar Blade specifically, like they've talked a lot about that and a lot about kind of 2025, like the future for that game. Wouldn't surprise me if that's there. It's going to be ironic because one of my predictions for the awards is that Stellar Blade's going to lose all of them. And I think wrongfully so, but that is a hot take prediction I have is that Stellar Blade will not win one award. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's talk about the crazy big ones, right? The Jason Schreier games of the world, and then we'll do the games I'm leaning no on, okay? Witcher, so, it's possible. It's years and years out. I think it's at least 3 years out, but Jeff Keighley's shown games that are 3 years out before, so I feel like that would absolutely be a gigantic one, right? Just kind of seeing it. Naughty Dog's game, so there's, bringing that kind of back. Naughty Dog's still Naughty Dog. I know, what they've gone through, and it hasn't been a great road over the last 5 or so years, but they are still big, and when they announce their new IP, that would still be a pretty big deal. Tomb Raider, made a whole video on that. I think that works actually quite well. Persona 6, made a video on that. I think that actually works quite well. Resident Evil 9, same thing. So this is kind of where I lump to those 3. And what are really big games that appeal to a mass audience that would get people saying, holy God, I can't believe that's there. And Jason Schreier said that, but to be honest, when I pitched those 3, you can watch my videos of the last 2-3 weeks, I was saying that. I was trying to find games that I think appeal to a good amount of people where you would kind of be surprised, but at the same time, it's reasonable it would show up, and they're also big. So I feel like I was saying it before, Jason Schreier, just to kind of pat myself on the back. Tomb Raider, Persona, Resident Evil. I guess I actually made a mistake here. I wrote down Wolverine again. I'm going to say leaning yes. I think, again, Wolverine counts as both. If Wolverine is there and it's like a big-time, show-off type thing, it would be one of the biggest games. It would also, at this point, I actually am still leaning heavily yes on that. Okay, and then I kind of want to go crazy. Half-Life 3. I've seen a lot of rumors of Half-Life 3. I, myself, don't want to believe it. I don't want to be let down. Half-Life 3, I feel like, has been in development for years and also has happened multiple times. I feel like we know that, right? Like behind the scenes, they've tried to make a Half-Life 3 2-3 times at least. That's not fake. That's like, that actually has happened. Is it a real thing? I still think no, but can you beat that? Maybe GTA, but can you really beat of Half-Life 3 by Gabe? He walks up on stage and he announces Half-Life 3. Could you beat that at the Game Award? I don't think you actually could. So that would be like the biggest of all. Okay, leaning no towards, and this is, leaning no / it's just not going to happen. Wonder Woman. I'm sorry. I think because of Hogwarts, I got to say no to again, like, it's not that I don't want these games. It's just that I don't think they're going to be there. Wolf Among Us 2. Ship sailed on that one. GTA 6. We talked about a couple of these actually in videos. BioShock. I just mentioned that, I think, yesterday or the day before. Hollow Knight. I would love it, but, every time that's never there. Kingdom Hearts 4 is another one. Judas. Now, I actually put Persona 6. Persona 6, like, while I want it and it would be a big game, I actually would kind of lean no on Persona 6. And I think that's it. 2 other things I wrote down just as kind of like last second thoughts. 007 game. I see a lot of people that always talk about that game. That I would kind of put in the gigantic category. I could see it. I would actually almost say lean yes. Like if I'm making my prediction, I would say it's probably more likely than not to be there, and it would be a big deal. And then I thought of the idea, Fallout, the show. Fallout Season 2 is filming right now. Think Ella Purnell is going to be there. What about Fallout 3 or something remastered? So this actually would fall in my, the one surprise remaster remake. I forget because like we know Oblivion is getting a remaster, right? I think that was like leaked a while ago through like the Bethesda leak. I forget about Fallout if that was actually kind of confirmed like inadvertently or not. I just feel like you're gonna do that eventually. You'll probably remaster, at the very least, remaster 3 and probably New Vegas, right? New Vegas is gonna be so important for the season 2. Maybe it's that. So I just wanted to throw out Fallout just because it's a big deal. I don't know if it would be like that crazy big game, but it would be that kind of surprise remaster remake I was talking about. So I think that's it. I always get asked about Jurassic Park Survival. It was just shown off a year ago. I know a lot of people think it's coming out really, really soon. I personally don't, but I always get asked about that. I mean, my own personal prediction is no. I don't think it's going to be there, but you guys can let me know. I think that's it. If there's any questions or concerns or any games, that I didn't mention here that you want to know, if you're curious, my prediction on, let me know in the comments. And like I said, I'll be live. We'll be live at least half an hour, if not more, before the show starts. So, we can talk about more stuff there if you want, okay? Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully this was a little bit fun. It was definitely a bit different. I think it actually was more structured than my past year's predictions for Game Awards. But thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all with me watching this thing live tomorrow.